Hi guys, in this lesson we are going to learn the rank method, which will allow us to rank the existing columns based on their values. Let's first create a new file and call it rank method. Rank method. Okay, as I said before, rank method ranks the existing columns based on their values. As an example, I might have a numeric data inside the column and already sorted it in a descending or ascending order, but the value seems so complicated that we would somewhat want to output this the same data with additional column by giving a rank to each item in a specific column based on their value. In this case, it will be very useful to use this rank method. So let's first import the Pandas library, import Pandas SPD, and then import our dataset here. So pd read csv, or data is located where? In the data folder, data, and which file we are going to import here. Let's go to the data folder, and I will take this one, population by country again, and paste it here. Sorry, population by country. And now if I print it out, first I will try to print out first 50 rows of this data. It will output the data here. And now I want to count the number of null values in all columns we are interested in. So let's just, these are the 50 rows here, but if I want to print out the number of null values before working with our rank method, I just want to get to know how many null values inside of my columns here. As you can see here, only the migrants net column has 34 null values, but we are going to use specifically this column migrants net because this column is, let's make it 5 here, because this column has numeric data and I want to use this column here. So first I will try to do what? I will try to get rid of these null values here inside of these migrants net column here. In order to get rid of this, I can easily drop this with the help of the drop method, df drop now, and by default it will do what? It will drop all the NaN values on all the rows with NaN values. It just drops it like this one whole. This is the default, like this one, any. If I click shift enter, it will drop all these null values here. But if I check it again, like this one first, I haven't placed it with true. I first try to give a df shape here, click shift enter, it will have 235 rows here. But if I try to refresh this data here and again check the length of the data, it again will have 235, but we have replaced these NaN values, or we have dropped it, but nothing is being changed because we haven't defined it to the variable or haven't given what the in place true parameter here. In order to do that, we will have to type in the in place equals true here. It will drop all these NaN values, all the rows with NaN values inside of this column, and you can see that it have now 201 row here. But if I click df here again, and here I have just called this drop method for all these columns here, but sometimes you might need the column itself, and even with the NaN values, that column might be valuable for you. And in order to remove the NaN values based on one column, we should again do what? We have already covered it. We will have to drop it with the drop null method, like so. I will just comment it out. I will read this data again and this data again. It has 235, and now I will try to use this drop null method like this one, drop null. Then I will type in the subset, because I want to drop the NaN values based on one column here, based on this migrant column. I will just copy this one and paste it here. And now I will even can go give a parameter how equals to any. I like to give it because it has two versions, how all and how any. How any we already know that it will delete the rows even if one of our columns has NaN values, but all means that if all of our columns, if the row has all NaN values in our columns, in that case all just removes that row. But in our case, if we have any parameter here, it will delete the row if it even has one NaN values inside of one of these columns here. That's why we are defining how any parameter here, and then we are defining the in place true parameter equals true. Again, if you don't want to define this in place true parameter, you can just assign it to the new variable and call that variable here, but I like to use this parameter here. If I click and shift enter, you will see that the F shape already has 201 row again as the previous result here, but this one will be useful for you to know. Okay, now we already have this data. My data looks a bit big. I will assign above mentioned data frame to the df2 and extract only the interested columns here. What is my column here? df here. It has lots of columns, but I don't want them all of these columns. I just want to make it a bit simpler. I will type in df2 variable. This is a new variable, and pick up specific columns here. I will pick up with the help of the df, because all these columns are defined to the df variable here. Then two square brackets, and inside these square brackets I will try to do what? Pick up the columns here. Country or dependency will be the first column we are needed here. Then I will pick up one, this one, age as an example. Let's take in this one, and then I will pick up what? This one, migrate net with the numeric data, because we are going to use the rank method based on this migrants net column. If I click shift enter or call this variable and click shift enter, you could see that we will even print out 3 columns here. You could see how easy Pandas just manipulates with these columns here. Now it's time to rank the column migrant net by creating a new one, but before creating it, I will try to check the data types of this df2 variable data types here. You could see the migrant net has float data type. If it has integer or floats, it's okay, it's perfect, and we are open to sort them or rank them, because rank and sort values methods with numeric data only works well with integer or float numbers. If you have an object here, you will have to convert this to the floating data type. Okay, now I will try to use the rank, but how should I use? I want to create a new column here and rank them based on this migrant net in that column here. In order to do that, I will type in df2 the rank column here equals to what? I can even create the new one here. If I again df2 call this one, it will create this blank column here, but I don't want this one to be it like that. I want to define what? df2 equals what? first the column name, this column name, migrants net. Okay, and rank it. Rank method here should be used. By default it has a ascending true. If I just click shift enter and run this one, it will rank these values here. You could see that the rank of this value here is 5, while the rank of this number in migrants is 201. But I want them to rank in a descending order. In order to do that, I will type in ascending equals to false. Click shift enter. Don't pay attention to this error. If I click run, it will run it in a descending order based on these values here. And now if I want to get rid of these 0 floating numbers, I can even convert this to s type, to the integer data type integer. Click shift enter and call it again. You could see we have cleared these numbers here. It has sorted it based on the migrant net column, but I want to sort it based on the already created rank method here. You understood this rank method. It has just defined the ranks based on these numbers here, but I want to just print it out based on this rank column itself, and print out the number of immigrants based on their countries here. In order to do that, I will do what? Use the sort values method here. Sort values. Then I will pick up what? This column here. This column here. I will sort this column in a descending order, and the ranks will be outputted correspondingly here. If I just sort this column here, and then after this column I will type it ascending equals to what? False. If I click shift enter, you could see it sorts this column, migrant column, from the highest to the lowest one. If I print the first 10 rows here, click shift enter, it will print the list of top countries with immigrants here. You can see that United States, Germany, and Turkey are considered the top 3 countries with migrant flow here.